have another guest in the studio here from the Oshkosh Community Players to tell us about their latest production, and it's called Almost Maine. So I'd like to introduce John Rubino and Kylie Monty here from the Oshkosh Community Players to tell us all about this latest production. So thank you both so much for joining us today.
Pleasure to be here.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, it's great to have you guys in. You guys are always working on something. Tell us a little bit about the latest production of Almost Maine.
Oh, yeah, it's called Almost Maine, like you said.
Which is kind of a strange name, actually. I'm eager to hear about what this one's about.
Yeah, it's Almost Maine it's the name of a very small town in rural northern Maine, and it gets its name because, as they say, they didn't get organized in time. To be a town, you have to get organized, and they never got around to it, so they're just almost, which is why it's called that. So it's actually a series of vignettes or short scenes, and it explores the relationships of different people in the town. It's essentially a series of love stories. Some of them are happy, some of them are not so happy. Sometimes they're people meeting or getting engaged, maybe.
Okay, very cool.
But it's really fun. It's definitely it's a really fun show. It's a little different than most other sort of romantic comedies that you see. So,
yeah, sounds like it'd be kind of hard to get bored during this show since there's so many different stories going on. That would be kind of a cool thing to see.
Yeah, it moves along pretty fast and it keeps you entertained.
Yeah,
so.
and Kylie, you're one of the directors of the production. So what's it been like preparing for this show?
It's been a blast. My co-director, who couldn't be here today, Doug Peer, we're good friends and he's so much fun to work with. And I've actually done this show before a couple of times, so there wasn't as much prep work for me because I was already really familiar with it. Excuse me. It's a lot of fun to kind of get to know these characters. They're very real people. There's something to relate to in every scene. But we've had a lot of fun. Our actors are awesome. We have such a great cast.
Definitely. Well, very cool. I'm excited to see it. How did you decide on a story like this? I always have to ask that question because there's so many different options for shows that you can do. So how do you decide on this one?
We were looking for something that kind of fit into our season. Our shows this year really focus around relationships. We started with You Can't Take It With You, which was a family, the story of two families from very different backgrounds coming together. This is a set of stories about relationships between individuals and their discovery of these relationships, and then we're going to finish the season with You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, which is just classic about the relationships in that. So it kind of fit into a broad overall picture for the season, and it's been a blast. It is so much fun. I was thinking about ways to describe this, and our poster says every relationship you've ever had happens in Almost Maine, and because everybody that comes to this show is going to see something in a relationship that they've had at one time or another.
Right, I was going to say it's got to be very relatable, all the different situations.
So some of them, when I first read it, were like, oh, I know this. I've done.
You're like, oh gosh, yeah, I've been there. Well, really cool. It sounds so interesting. Maybe you can give us a little bit of background on the Oshkosh Community Players for those of us who don't know.
Yeah, well, Oshkosh Community Players has been in one form or another in the Oshkosh community for decades. The latest evolution took place back in about 2010. And we merged with Eclectic Arts Ensemble, and were asked to partner with the Grand Opera House to be an arts partner, with the understanding that we'd take back the Oshkosh Community Players name. And one of the neat things about our theater company is that every show we do is open cast. So we don't cast anybody ahead of time. Everybody comes in for auditions and gets an equal opportunity. We're looking for more ways to involve more people, more community. If you ever wanted to be on stage, Oshkosh Community Players is going to be a great opportunity for you.
And that's what sets you apart from a different theater group, where there tends to be a little bit of a hierarchy already in place. Or
not so much a hierarchy, but there other theater companies are repertoire companies, so they have a pool of actors that take that they cast in a lot of the main roles, and then they audition for supporting roles. What's really neat, we're doing something that we haven't done since the Eclectic Art Days with Charlie Brown, and we're going to cast this with a youth cast, so middle school, high school kids that will come in, they'll rehearse with the adult cast, they'll learn the technical side of things, so they'll run their own show, and they'll have their own performance as well. So we've got this great show coming up on the night, opens on the 19th, and it's just an amazingly enjoyable show.
Yes.
And then we'll go right into starting to work on Charlie Brown. So it's a busy time for us.
Oh my gosh, very busy time.
Yeah.
Busy time of year for everybody. And dates, can you run through the dates and times for us?
We open on February 19th, so that's a Friday evening. We go Friday, Saturday, Sunday is a matinee, the 21st. And then our second weekend is we open Thursday night again, and we go Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So that's the 25th, 26th, and 27th.
Okay, so lots of options to be able to catch this awesome show.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Tickets are available at the box office or online at grandoperahouse.org.
Wonderful.
So, yeah.
And where can we go to find more information, not only about the show, but about the players as well?
Oshkosh Community Players, we have a great Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Oshkosh Community Players, and then our website is www.oshkoshtheatre.org.
All right. Well, wonderful. Well, we're really looking forward to this awesome production. Kylie, best of luck to you and the rest of the preparation for the show. And thank you both so much for joining us today.
Been our pleasure. Thank you.
We'll have to have you in again for your next one.
You bet. You bet.
Oshkosh Today was supported in part by the Friends of OCM. And Aurora Healthcare, 855 Northwest Haven Drive. Set design provided by House of Flowers, 1920 Algoma Boulevard. Oshkosh Today.